Hey, what's up guys? It's Sylvan here today. I'm going to be showing you my Sylvan deck because I'm Duelist Sylvan and the Sylvans are my thing. They're the best deck of the format, they're the best deck of every format. Sylvan's the best deck in the world, and I have the best build in the world. So if you would like to win every tournament on the face of the planet, look at this build because this build will win you every game ever. No, I'm just playing around. Sylvans are obviously not the best deck. In my eyes, they are, but I have a lot of people who disagree with me. Now, I've recorded this a couple other times, so I'm going to try to speed through this because I don't want the video to be too terribly long. So first off, 3 Hermitry, because Lone Fire Blossoms at 3 now, and we have Rose Lover, so this does not clog nearly as bad as it used to. No reason not to play 3. It's a great card. 3 Sage Koya, because Sage Koya is like God. Sage Koya is pretty much the best card in the deck. There's absolutely no downside to playing him. He's level 7, makes Aurea, he gets back Charity, he's a huge beast stick, he gets you 1 Excavate every turn. He's super easy to get out, like, there's no reason not to play 3. 2 Martial Leaf for Searchable Monster Destruction, because Searchable Monster Destruction is really nice. However, these things can get really bad if you start to draw into them too often, so I've only got 2. Tukuma Shurmo for Searchable Spell and Trap Destruction, which is also pretty good, but I don't use 3 because it's not really a trap format, I would say, except for maybe Yosenju's and just other like rogue decks like that. So I like this because it's a 2k sit, it's like a 2k wall, and then you can get 5 Excavates off of it, so it's not really bad to draw into, but I would rather Excavate it, so I think 2 is okay. 3 Peacekeeper. A lot of people disagree with me on 3 Peacekeeper, but I love 3 Peacekeeper because I use so many targets, and then recycling Lone Fire Blossom is just ridiculously strong. In my opinion, I think just the fact that this guy gets you back Lone Fire consistently, like almost every turn, if you have Sylvania or something like that out, is enough reason to play him at 3, because recycling Lone Fire Blossom is like game under most circumstances. 2 Princess Sprout, because Princess Sprout is really good. It makes you just about every level Synchro or Eggsy that you want, but I hate drawing into it, so I only play 2. Also, it's only once per turn, so it's really bad if you want to make more than one thing. 2 Cherub Sprout, because I play 11 level 1s, so this is never ever dead. I have a common and a super. It's really ugly. I'm going to be getting another super pretty soon. I hate drawing into this, so I'm only playing 2, but there are plenty and plenty of targets for this, so it's never really dead. Gets your tuners out, and then gets you some sort of a plus, pretty much no matter what. And then 1 Flower Knight, just because Naturia Beast is a card it's pretty good this format. So this is in here because this plus Glow Up Bulb is Naturia Beast, and that's really strong. I chose this over Rose Paladin because it is a plant, so it doesn't clog your excavations as much. And Rose Paladin's a really good card, but I like this better just because it makes the deck more fluid. And then next, for the non-Sylvan Plant Engine, 3 Lone Fire Blossom, because it just went to 3, and that's really cool. Why wouldn't you play 3? There's so many good targets in the deck. This is a staple in every plant deck, of course. Working on getting a 3rd gold one right now, and then after that I'm going to try to get champion pack ones, because those would be really cool. These are supposed to be Rose Lovers. I have not had the time to pick up Rose Lovers since they came out, but Rose Lover's a really good card. It'll get your Cloggy Hermitries out of hand and stuff like that, and it just like kind of puts an extra push on all of your plays to just get that extra special summon out there. And then I use Spore, Dandelion, and Glow Up Bulb, because these are really good cards. These are your your tuners. They're very recyclable by Peacekeeper, searchable by Cherub Sprout, recyclable by their own effect. There's so many ways to get these out. You don't really need anything more than that. And then Dandelion, I'm working on getting an ultimate rare, don't worry, but it is not the best, honestly. I would consider cutting this just because it can clog up your boards with some tokens. but if you synchro someone with it, then it's pretty ridiculous. 2 Curry Bandit, because Curry Bandit wins games if you get a really good Excavate, and then you can grab back like Soul Charge, or Sylvania, or Charity, or something like that. But 3 is too much because it clogs your excavations, and as I've said before, that is really, really bad. 3 Charity, because Charity is just like the heart and soul of this deck. You get this out, you set up your plays consistently, you control what you draw into. It's really good. I like it at 3. I've seen people take out 1 and add in like a Terraforming, because it can be a dead draw, I'm not going to lie. But I like 3 because it gives you more targets for Sage Koya to pick up from the grave. Whereas Terraforming, even though it gets you that extra deck thin, you can't add back Terraforming with Sage Koya. That would be broken. 3 Charity, best card in the deck, I would say. It's your draw power, it sets up all of your plays. If this was not once per turn, I think this card would be on the ban list because this card is ridiculous. So Charity is great, you can add it back with Sage Koya. There's no reason not to play 3. 2 Miracle Fertilizer, because this deck is really good with Miracle Fertilizer. Took out a 3rd one because you don't want to have too many spells, because then that will clog your excavations, and that's not very good. But this is really, really good. You don't really need your normal summon in this deck too much, so 2 Fertilizer works good enough for me. 2 Mystical Space Typhoon, because this deck does lose to traps, so you have to have a way to get rid of them somehow. I'm really glad that Vanities went to 1, because first of all, it needed to. Every deck was running 3. Second of all, it makes this deck a lot better. Same with Skill Drain. But I'm only running 2 instead of 3 because now that Clees are not really a thing anymore, I mean, they're still a thing, but they aren't as big of a threat. I feel like it's not really a trap format, so just 2 works. I'll side the 3rd. Soul Charge, because, yeah, Soul Charge, and it's a Sylvan deck, if you guys didn't know. And then Vanities, because Vanities, if you get out a good board and then you just throw out Vanities, your opponent just flat out loses some games. I like going into a Felgrand Vanities, and that's usually pretty difficult to get over for most decks, so that's it for the main deck. For the extra deck, I'll try to go through this a little bit faster. We have Aurea, because Aurea is stupid. Aurea is actually the stupidest card ever to be printed. Not true, but it is ridiculously good. It bounces 3 cards without targeting, and then it's 28, which is really good, and then it sets up your plays for like the next 2 turns. Just because it's like during 1 turn, this can set up your next 2 turns and then bounce 3 things, and it's ridiculous. So I'd probably play a second one if I had a second one, but I don't. I'm going to get one soon. I don't know what to cut out though. Dracossack, because I don't have Big Eye. This would be Big Eye if I had Big Eye, but I don't at the moment. Felgrand, because Felgrand's really, really good. I used to play 2, but I cut it down. Like I said with the Felgrand Vanities, it's usually really hard to get over. Tachyon, because it's really, really strong this format. It's 3k, not a lot of things can get over it, and it can OTK really powerfully if something happens during the battle phase. Giant Grinder, because this can just like destroy your opponent's fields. It can just eat them up like a tractor. And then if they have XZs out, then this can usually win you games. So I'm not going to cut it because it's a really good card. Formula Synchron, because I play 11 level 1s, and the tuners are super easy to get out. So why wouldn't you play it? It's a free plus, and it can go into other stuff. Namely Shooting Star Dragon, which is like the big card of the deck, really, the big synchro monster. So Formula Synchron, and then Stardust Dragon and Shooting Star. Stardust Dragon, I'm gonna admit, is not the best level 8. It's still good, but I would probably play Scrap Dragon or Crimson Blader probably over this. But Shooting Star is pretty easy to get out in this deck, I would say. I can usually make a Shooting Star like once every 3 games or something like that, which is worth it to play it. So Shooting Star is usually game if you get it out, and then that's why I have to run these 2. But Formula I'd probably run anyways, and then Stardust, it's not a bad card, so there's no reason not to run that engine, honestly. Armory Arm, because you get this out really, really easily, and if you equip it to one of your big monsters like Sage or Aurea or something like that, then this can usually win. Armades, just to kind of lock your opponent out and make it to where they can't do anything whenever it attacks. It's really good for just kind of securing the win. Naturia Beast because this is really, really good, this format. It stops a lot of different things, namely spells. So, I run like a little engine specifically for this in the deck, just because it's that strong. I might actually consider taking this out though, just so that I can put some more stuff in the main deck and have the ability to take out the Flower Knight, because Flower Knight's not the best card. I'm testing this because I had this, and I kept switching between this and Scrap Dragon. I think I like this more because you can make it, and then you can do some pretty cool stuff with this by like bouncing a Miracle Fertilizer or bouncing a Sylvania, and then you can just bounce something in your opponent's field, so that's pretty good. So I'm going to keep it in there for now. Black Rose because you get to blow up the field, and you get to use its second effect. There's no reason not to play it. Leo because it's 3100, which is enormous, and can't be targeted except during your main phase 2, so it's usually pretty difficult to get over. And same with Star Eater, can't be negated, and it's just like an Armades basically, 3200. So that is all for the extra deck. I am pretty happy with this list, honestly. The only thing I would change is I might take out Vulcan the Divine for a second Aurea, because like I said, I was going to try to find room for another Aurea. So that would probably come out for that. And then, aside from that, I don't think there's a whole lot I would change with this list. I might put in a Regeki, but I don't really think it's necessary, really. And then, hollowing it out is really the only thing I'm worried about at this point, because it's really good to hollow out. Like I said, I still need Big Eye, because I haven't found anybody who has one for trade, and I don't really want to just straight up buy one right now. But second Aurea would probably be put in for the Vulcan, and then this would come out for Big Eye. So yeah, that is pretty much my my Sylvan list. So I don't think there's much more to say. I'm still going to update it with every format, because Sylvans are still going to be good next format, and they're still going to be good at the format after that, and they're never going to be a bad deck. Every card in Sylvans could be banned, and they would still be tier 1. So, Sylvans are definitely cool. They're my favorite deck, if you couldn't tell. Leave a like if you liked this, and if you're watching this on iFunny, go check out my YouTube, sub to that. I'll try to do more duel videos soon, so if you want to do that, you can hit me up on Kick. My Kick is GagagaCowboy, and I could duel with you, and then I could record it and post it, and it would be pretty cool. I'd give you a little shout out and everything. And aside from that, stay tuned for more videos soon, and I'm out. Peace.